And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Hardlet, we have our blue Zerg player representing his new team, Team Vitality. South Korean Zerg. It is Solar. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Dragon KZ Gaming, the KZ. It is herO. herO, I would go as far as to say the current best Protoss in the entire world right now. He had an insane run in Masters Coliseum in January. He had an insane run in IEM Katowice in February, and he has been looking quite dominant. Again, I look forward to seeing him in GSL. We'll see what kind of performance he can really undergo and really flex and flaunt. He is also the reigning champion. He is last week's ESL Open Cup Americas champion. He took down MaxPax 3-0 in those finals. And we'll see if history repeats itself. We'll see if MaxPax can even have a chance at revenge, because MaxPax is waiting in the finals for either herO or Solar, as this is the semi-finals of ESL Open Cup Americas 216. That's a lot of weeks. That's a lot of weeklies. That's a lot of ESL Open Cups. Been a couple of years now that they have been running this event. Big shout out to ESL. I do love that. I do appreciate that they have been, again, willing to invest into these online weekly tournaments the way that they have, keeping them running for so long. And we'll see who does advance on to the finals. So far, Hashcat's pool. Standard opener out of Solar, nothing too crazy. Was able to take his natural base on location. Meanwhile, we do have herO going for a gate expand into the cyber core. Nothing crazy yet. Pylon has been thrown down. Based on the pylon positioning, it does look like a Stargate opener. Just because it's right up close to the edge, it does reduce the time it takes for the Oracle to get across the map. So every second matters. Every second counts. We'll see if herO goes for something different. So probe just make its way over, and there it is. Stargate has been thrown down. Again, based on the positioning, that's what we assumed it would be. Based on the fact that it's right up against the wall, it should be an Oracle as well. If we went for a Void Ray opener, usually you want to hide it. You want to keep it further back to lure the Overlord in and to shut it down, and to hide the follow-up, which could be another Void Ray, second Stargate, an Oracle, or something else. So again, should be an Oracle here from herO. So far, everything is looking normal. Everything is looking by the book. So far. We'll keep an eye out and see if we do deviate. But now we are investing into a couple of Lings. The first adept does shade across the map. We're going for the tumor, and we do not get it. We get one shot off, but the tumor does survive. Very fortunate there for Solar. herO once again threatening a shade. He has to be very careful again. If he loses the first adept, that will weaken the second adept timing and will weaken his defenses at the third base. So he has to be very careful with the first adept here. As Oracle production is underway, as we did mention, second adept has arrived. Two adepts do one-shot drones. So herO has the opportunity to dive into a base and dive into a mineral line. So Solar has to take this seriously, and he will chase down these adepts. Again, Solar's going to be stuck at home, at least until Link Speed finishes, and then he can chase down herO. Speaking of herO, he's fully aware of the timing. He shades back just in time. Link Speed is done, and ooh, herO doesn't commit. Is still threatening the bases. Again, Lings, they could surround the adepts, but we have the Oracle to support the adepts to keep them safe from a Link surround. So good movement here from herO. And likewise, Solar respects it. He's droning up, saturating his natural. herO hasn't gone for a mineral line yet. Lings, oh, they almost commit. They almost go in. But again, basically, no one really pulls a trigger. No one commits. It's all just kind of like posturing here between herO and Solar so far. Meanwhile, we're getting up to 3 Oracles. 2 Oracles can one-shot workers. Now they no longer have to support the Adepts. They can go straight for the bases, straight for the mineral line. In the main base, we have a Spore. We have Queens in position. Good reaction out of Solar. He does save his drones. Doesn't take any damage yet. Ooh, as the Adepts are getting surrounded. Big catch here from Solar. He does find the Adepts. We'll bring both of them down. Oracle's a little bit too late to respond. Just like that, Solar has map control. He goes for a big counterattack. We'll get eyes on the natural and the third base. Checks the natural, checks the third. There is an Adept in position, and we have Oracles back at home to defend. So Solar won't be able to punish the third, but he does at least gain map control and does shut down the initial adepts. But now, herO is in the driver's seat. He's up to 3 oracles, has 2 more adepts on the field. Still hasn't killed any drones yet. So far, Solar's done a great job here at just keeping up with the movement and saturating his bases. But here we go. We ignore the queens. We get into the third base. The Spore isn't done. Spore is not done when we go to town here in the middle line. 7 drones go down. We get a queen as well. Big pickoffs here from herO, keeping all 3 oracles alive. Solar was doing well, but there was just one moment here where he was vulnerable and he was shut down. 7 worker kills across the map. Solar trying to go for a counterattack, but we are in position. Shield batteries are done. Nice hold position here with the Gateway Army. The Lings, they don't find any damage. So just like that, herO finds himself in a good position. Behind this, we're going for a Twilight Council on the Forge. Standard follow-up for Blinken +1. Gonna be a standard follow-up here from herO. Oracles, they get across the map. Gonna be threatening a dive. Again, all 3 oracles still with a good amount of energy. They find even more drones. They get 3 workers here at the natural. They head into the main as well. The queens, they're just being dragged out of position time and time again. 5 more workers. That is 12 in total for 2 adepts. Like, every oracle still does live. And we're working towards the next phase of this game. How many gateways do we have? We're on, okay, only 4 gateways. Soon to be 6. 6 gateways being set up. Do have a Temple Archives for eventually Archon production for Storm. Looks like herO, he's working on further tech and working on a would-be 4th base, I imagine. herO does have a Prism on the way to reinforce, to push, that is true. But based on his setup, he's not going for a 3-base all-in. Doesn't have the production for it. It keeps up with the Lings, does shut them down. Lings getting shaved off. Behind this, plus on melee is about to finish up. We are getting into Lingbane Roach Ravager. But Solar, he's been stuck redroning. Because of so many dead workers, yes, Solar has recovered, but he's been forced to drone instead of making Lings to harass or Roaches to really build up an army. Again, Evo Chambers, tech, it's all a little bit more delayed as a result because of so many dead workers. Storm is on the way for herO. And again, he should be looking to expand. Should be. Here we go. We do have a Zealot run by being set up on the right-hand side. There it is. 4th base now on the way. And now that he's getting his 4th, he should be pushing in front of it. He should be expanding behind his push here. As he does come across the Lings, we'll shut them down. And his goal here is to hold on to his base by forcing Solar to focus on defense. To keep Solar on the back foot. As charge is not quite done, we're still a couple of seconds away. No anti-air though, so the Zealots are going to be saved. Stalkers, they catch out more Lings. Ooh, 1 Stalker goes down. We're going for a surround. Yeah, the Oracles have to activate their pulsar beams. Stalkers are getting picked off. Not a bad trade for Solar, but oh, he's bleeding out Roaches. Bleeding out Roaches. Charge is now done. We can threaten a drop into the main. And as we mentioned, Solar has been stuck at home. He's been stuck defending, stuck trading with the army. And herO is saturating his fort. Cannons, shield batteries, it's all on the way. He's getting away with it. And now he can focus on his push. Rocks are being knocked down. Storm is done, by the way. And we have how many High Templar? 3 High Templar ready for this. Each soon to have 1 Storm. First Storm gets thrown down. Zones the army, not ideal. 2 Storms left. 2 Storms are remaining. Zealot drop into the main base. Prism will barely escape. Ooh. Does get away. Ling Rambai gets spotted. Does catch a couple of reinforcing Stalkers. And forces back the army. At the same time, we're pushing in towards the 4th base of Solar. We have an Immortal, we have a Storm. There we go, we have 1 Storm remaining. There it is, on top of the Morphing and Banelings. The Banelings will be shut down. 2 of them finished, but that is not going to be good enough. Solar forcing the army back. Big stasis here on the Lings. Reinforcers, they come in. We blink on top of the army. We go for the dive. And Roaches, they're getting annihilated. Yeah, herO is snowballing out of control. The Immortals doing so much damage in the back line. We don't have a Storm yet, but that's soon about to change in a couple of seconds. And there it is. We have a Storm available. We have 2. The Immortals. Big yoink here. Storms are thrown down. The Immortals are shut down. Very nice moves here out of Solar. Does pick off the Immortals, does pick off the High Templar. And herO, he's going to be forced back. The Concave a little bit too much here. Blinks are looking good from herO though. Oh my god. He's breaking through. Such an aggressive Blink. I'm still on the fence about this, but here we go. An Immortal has arrived as we rally across the map and we break the 4th base. herO does have too much. I was concerned we were spending too much money elsewhere. As the Prism gets shut down in the main base, we get a kill in the hatchery. What I mean by that, 2 Stargates, a Fleet Beacon, and +1 air attack. We are investing here into the late game, into Skytoss, so I was worried that we wouldn't have enough reinforcements because we're, of course, spending our resources on tech. But herO barely had enough. He breaks through. He does both at the same time. He breaks the 4th, and he's ready for Skytoss. Ay. And Solar's in a rough position here. Again, you may look at the numbers, and you may be like, oh, but Solar, he's up in supply. Not really. The soup does lie when it comes to Roach armies. This is inflated supply by Solar. It is very inefficient, so even though he's up in army supply, these Roaches, they are deceiving. The quality of the army is lower than that of herO. As Solar is trying to get into Hydrolurker Viper. Hydrolurker Viper is on the way for Solar, but herO, he's already making carriers. He's already 1 step ahead when it comes to the tech. We can see Solar trying to recover, droning back up to 80. He has a decent base setup here. He's on 4, soon to be 5 bases. He has recovered, but he's still a ways off here. Storm, ooh. Connecting with the Lingbane. Big storms as herO takes the 5th. And Solar, he knows he can't allow this 5th base to get up and running. The carriers have revealed themselves, but we shut down the 1st Immortal. We get the 2nd Immortal as well. Big pickups there from Solar. At the same time, the Baling run by. He gets in. 14 workers go down, and this is what Solar needed. He snipes the Immortals, and he gets into the mineral line, killing 14 probes. And Solar, he's still in this. He's still in this. He has seen the carriers. He's aware of them now. He's now certain he has to focus on anti-air, Vipers, Spellcasters, his Hydras. And he may be able to deny the 5th. That is the goal. We end up sniping one of the carriers. Big yoink. We have 1 more yoink left. A couple actually. We get a 2nd carrier, and it looks like it will barely not go down. There we go. It does fall. 2 more carriers fall here. Stalkers are coming in, but we may... Yeah, we are being forced back. herO, he has enough to force back the army. But that was an expensive loss there for herO. An expensive trade. Bleeding out 3 carriers. He was almost at critical mass. Like 6 carriers is the ideal. So very good pickoffs here from Solar. Very necessary. Honestly, if he hadn't killed those 3 carriers, herO would probably be going for a death push. Like, he'd probably be moving out right now with the death ball of an army, and I don't think Solar would be able to defend against it. So big moves there. Sniping those carriers. Vipers survived. They're regathering energy at the natural. Solar's got +2, pushing forward with Lurkers. Observer does spot the army. And herO, we need some storms. We only have 2 High Templar. We need some kind of splash damage here. 1 Lurker goes down. The Vipers coming in. They yoink 2 of the carriers. And they're going to be focused down. 1 and then the other. Yeah, Solar, it looks like he has too much. He's breaking through the army. Not a single storm available. The High Templar go down. herO trying desperately to hold on here. Barely takes out another Lurker. With 4 carriers, it looks like herO, he will win the battle here when it comes to the anti-air. He will shut down the Hydras, or will he? We're running out of interceptors. We're running out. Solar, he maintains his position. He's barely pushing through here, wedging himself in between the bases. Pushing in towards the 5th. herO, he comes in with those Archons. Vipers, show us the yoinks. Barely don't have them though. As we're not able to abduct. But we have cut herO off, and now we can lay siege upon the 5th base. And the 5th should be going down. Maybe every single worker here as well as we force. No, we're recalling on top of the army. No, the miss recall. Ay. 19 probes go down. We could have saved them. We could have seen them just recall to the wrong base. Not like this. Ay, ay, ay. And Solar, he has done it. Wasn't easy. Remember, it was so crucial that he was able to pick off those carriers, so crucial that he was able to cripple the economy earlier as well. He fought back hard, kills a carrier. Does doink another. We get a second carrier here. Pulling back to the safety of those lurkers. Storms are now being thrown down, but it may just be too little too late. As Solar, he's snowballing out of control. This time with an actual, like, solid army supply. With Hydras, no roaches in sight. Hydra, Lurker, Viper, we got here. We focus on the carriers one after the other. And herO has been broken. He had a strong start. herO had a very strong start. But in the end, he was pulled apart. GG gets called, and Solar takes game number 1. Whew, let's go. GG. Does take game number 1. Does take a lead in the series. Again, herO just being caught with his pants down a little bit here. This is the power of hard lead. Again, the rush distance by ground is very short on hard lead, so you have very little time to react here to army move outs and you know, actually being in position. herO wasn't able to react in time to the Baneling run by. His immortals were exposed. His carriers initially were exposed as well. Some really key fights went in favor of Solar. And with that, does take game number 1. And now we're getting into game numero 2 on Alcyone. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Alcyone, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, leading the series 1-0. Uramas, one more is all he needs to bring herO down. Can he do it? Can he pull it off? Representing Team Vitality, it is Solar. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Dragon Kaiser Gaming. He is last week's champion, by the way, but he's struggling here in the semifinals. Will his run end here and now? It is herO. We go. As our players are getting set up, it is going to be a hatch gas pool opener here by Solar. herO likewise going for his gate expand. Now, Alcyone is going to be an interesting one. There are gold bases, and we have seen Solar and even herO take advantage of this gold base in this matchup in the past. It is available here. It is risky to take as a third or even a fourth. It can be risky, so that could come into play. We'll keep an eye on the gold bases, see if anyone rushes into them. Otherwise, this map is very macro-oriented. Alcyone has a very long rush distance. I believe the second longest rush distance map in the map pool, second only to Radisson Station. It is longer than Equilibrium. So, because of that, it is going to be quite a bit more to be aggressive, to be assertive, to be in your face. There are a lot of bases to be taken as well. A lot of bases to be taken. It is quite easy to split the map in half. So, because of that, we've seen a lot of, like, 20, 30, 40-minute games, even a 50-minute game on Alcyone. Not unheard of. Not unheard of at all. Oh boy. So, yeah, that could be what we have in store for us once again. Could be. Aye, aye, aye. But again, I'm sure herO is more than willing to try to end the game before he can get to that game state. Willing to be very aggressive. So my eyes are really on herO, as he's going for a Stargate opener. He's going for the Stargate. I imagine going for Oracles again. I mean, he found a lot of damage. Remember, he had a lot of success. At the beginning of game 1, herO, he did find himself with a lead. He was killing a lot of workers, a lot of probes. He killed 12 drones without losing a single Oracle and only losing 2 Adepts. Like, it was very impressive, the damage that herO was doing, as he does lay the third base for at least a moment. Does delay the third. As EDEP does get across the map. Oh, taking a lot of damage though. A little bit more careless here from herO. Will shade away, but that adept got very low. And again, if we lose the adept too early, that will expose the third. And that will give Solar map control. So herO has to be very careful with how he does commit and how he does maneuver. As he's going to be pushing in. And the adept's going to be shading in towards that main. Not committing. We shouldn't be committing here, but Solar doesn't know that. There it is. Ling speed does kick in, and now herO has to get the hell out of here with those adepts. Oracle is on the way. And Solar, he's looking to pounce. And it looks like he will. Oh, dives on the adepts. Oracle is here just in time, and we will clean up a lot of those Lings. Does punish Solar. Able to pick off some of the larva, and then we can back off. Now, the plus side here is that herO was forced to spend his energy on Lings, not on drones, so that's kind of a win for Solar. He's able to maintain his drone counts, maintain his economy. Second Oracle has arrived, third Oracle on the way, so triple Oracle into a third base. Very standard setup here from herO. Being very active with those Oracles, heading towards that natural, going for a Queen. A little bit greedy, and it looks like we will get the Queen. Not enough energy for Transfuse, but we lose an Oracle. Not worth it. Not worth it for herO. Losing an Oracle already here. The other taking some hull damage as well. This herO has to back off. 3 drones and a Queen. It's okay, but again, ideally we want to retain our Oracle count and snowball from there. Lings, they do slip in. Wall is not a wall. The wall was wide open. We slip into the main base. Oof. Focusing down a couple of those workers. It looks like we will get one. We also got the follow-up. It's going to be Forge and Twilight Council. Looks like +1 on Blink. As we find some damage here at the third base. Getting 2 drones. Good target firing out of Solar. Get a couple of workers. Oracles, they do end up in the corners of the bases. Threatening to go in once again once they do regather that energy and regenerate their shields. There it is. That Blink is on the way. No gateway explosion. It's only 4 gates to begin with. Now additional gateways here on the way. Gonna be 6, gonna be 7 gates in total here from herO. So he can be quite assertive with his Stalkers. He can push out. This is more Stalkers, more gateways than what we saw in game 1. At least initially. Okay. My eyes are on a herO. Oracle goes into the main. Gets a stasis off. Only gets 1 drone. You can see herO pushing through the center. Ling's getting ready for a run by. This time herO's in position. No, he's not! Oh, the wall not quite tightly sealed, and the Stalker is going to go down. Big pick off there from Solar. Breaks into the natural, dives into the main base. Probes are going to be going down. Ooh, quite a lot of them, actually. We got 5, 6 probe kills. Ooh, 7. And this should not be happening. So much damage is dealt. Adepts, they shade into the main. They get shut down. Solar sees an opportunity. He's going for a Spire. Going straight for the Spire. Bold move here, bold move from Solar, but because he dealt so much damage, herO, he's going to have to be stuck back at home recovering. At least that's the hope. We can see, though, that we're not. We're pushing out. herO, he's moving out here and now with his Blink Stalkers. Remember, he went up to 7 gateways. Ling run by once again coming in. This time gets shut down. Also, did I say 7 gateways? 8 gateways here from herO. We're going. We're sending it. It's going to be 3 base, 8 gate Blink. 8 gate Blink from herO. Very aggressive. Moving in with purely Blink Stalkers. Stasis trap into the main. Distracts Solar. Gets a drone. Ling run by. Doesn't quite find his way into the natural. Not this time. Good reaction out of herO. Now he can focus on his push. Now it's all about the control. All about the micro. herO's going to have a mass amount of Stalkers available, and he has to trade as efficiently as possible. Meanwhile, Solar is now finishing up with the Spire, but the Spire will not help in the defense. If Solar commits too much to Muta production, then he may just die. He has to respect the Stalkers. As we are pushing in. Stalkers, you can see them gaining ground. They shave off all the Lings. We're pushing on top of the Queens, on top of the Roaches. At the same time, a big Ling counterattack. We do hit the third base. We're forcing herO all in. We're forcing the all in out of the Protoss. 15 probes go down, and we bust into the Naturals, but we're going for the Cyber Core. Big pick off here. If only herO didn't have charge, he can reinforce with purely Zealots. And Zealots, they warp in back at him to defend. herO, he kills the fourth base, and again, it's all or nothing for herO. Roaches are amassing the Queens. They want that War Prism. They want the Prism. It's going to be focused down, and the Prism will fall. But Zealots, they come in to reinforce. They get on top of the Roaches. And herO, it looks like he may just have too much. Breaks through the Roaches, gets on top of the Queens. GG gets called. herO forced into the all-in. And more than happy to embrace it as he breaks Solar and ties up the series 1-1. GG. Oh. GG, well played. Very fortunate towards the end that herO did research charge immediately after Blink. So even though the Cyber Core went down, he had charge ults. He had plenty of charge ults to reinforce. They close the gap. They annihilate the Lings and the Roaches. No Banelings to defend. No Banelings to work with. And herO snowballs out of control. GG. GG, well played. We have an ace match. We have a game 3. Let's go. It all ends on Oceanborn. But again, it wasn't bad play out of Solar. Like, he did very well getting into the third base, getting into the natural, killing tech. Very nicely done. The problem is that, again, he may have committed a little bit too hard at the fourth. Like, he forced an all-in, and it may have been wiser there to wait a little bit longer for more reinforcements, because we saw herO was able to break Solar, to pick apart his army ahead of time, to eventually break through. GG. GG, well played. We have an ace match, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Team Vitality, being forced into Game 3. Can he bounce back? It is Solar. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing CranKy Gaming, DKZ, our reigning ESL Open Cup Americas champion. Can he make another finals run, or will he be stopped here and now in the ace match? It is herO. So Probe Scout is coming in. Solar going for a standard hatch gas pool, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, standard hatch gas pool opener here from Solar. Able to expand on location. Meanwhile, herO going for his own gate expand setup as well. Again, the early game shouldn't be too spicy. Winding it back, so far it's been pretty standard openers every game from herO. Some more successful than others. I would say that herO's Stargate triple Oracle opener was more successful in game 1. In game 2, it was shaky. It was a little bit more shaky in game number 2. But regardless, I imagine we'll be seeing the same opener. Stargate into triple Oracle into a third base into +1 Blink Stalkers. Now, as a reminder, in game number 1, herO only had 4 gate Blink Stalkers, and then he was able to tech up into a Templar Archives, right, into Storm, into Charge Lots, into a 4th base. herO was much more macro-oriented in game number 1. In game 2, he just exploded into 8 gates, and that's why he was even ahead of time preparing for a very committed push and pretty all-in anyway. With 8 gate Blink Stalkers, followed by Charge and +2, so a very aggressive style in game number 2. So I expect the same opener in game 3, but a different follow-up, right? It could be 8 gate Blink again, it could be something more tech-heavy, like double Robo Colossus production. Could be going into Storm again. And here has options. As there's that Stargate. Stargate is thrown down for herO. Should be for that Oracle production. I mean, even before we can talk about the follow-up tech here, after the Oracles and after the third, what we really should be keeping an eye on is the control of herO. Remember, he popped off in game 1. He killed, what was it, 12 drones? Without losing a single Oracle. It was crazy how much damage he dealt. Game number 2 was lackluster. Remember, he killed 3 drones and a queen, then he started losing his Oracles. His stasis traps were a little bit lackluster. Solar had a much cleaner defense. And I'm expecting that to continue. I'm expecting Solar to be on top of that Oracle defense here in game 3. But we'll see. That could be telling as... Ooh, herO. I'm getting ahead of myself. That is not an Oracle. So, I was going to point this out. I didn't want to bring too much attention to it if it was an Oracle opener. But this time, herO does throw down the pylon a little bit closer, or right next to the mineral line for the Stargate, which is more unorthodox. We saw it in the previous games, how usually you want it close to the edge to reduce the time it takes to get across the map. This time it's closer here to the bases, going for a Void Ray first. This means that the second unit is going to be harder to scout. Overlord is going to fall, and Solar won't see anything. He doesn't see whether there's another Void Ray, Phoenix, Oracle, doesn't know what's happening. So now there's this kind of like shroud of ambiguity here surrounding herO. Solar's in the dark, and herO, we'll see what he does with that. Adepts a shade into the natural. We focus on a couple of drones. Ooh, but we do throw those Adepts away. I mean, we can afford to. Because herO has a Void Ray, we have some consistent damage available. Lings, they ignore it. They just flood across the map. They're going for the third base, and herO, can we defend? We do open one Adept, and then Oracle is on the way. Looks like we should defend. First Oracle gets across the map, gets 3-4 drones. Oh no! Oh my god, and somehow it lives! Bit of body blocking there on Solar. He does. The queens end up getting stuck on each other, and the Oracle does manage to barely escape. Whew. Okay. An okay start for herO. Kills 4 drones, saves the Oracle, gets away with a third. And we can see the follow-up. It's going to be a Forge and a Twilight Council +1, and Blink can be on the way. It could be +1 in charge. I would not rule that out. As that's going to be quite an amount of gateways. 4 gates in total. Should be +1 in Blink. So Oracle is going to be forced back. Ling's still trying to get some scouting information. Trying to catch some workers wherever they can. But last they won't be able to. Yeah, Lings are being forced back. Solar, he's just droning back at home, getting ready for a third. Gases are being, getting ready for a fourth. Gases are being taken. Lair is on the way. Roachborn as well. Still waiting for that fourth hatchery. This herO does slip into the main base. And there it is. We have our answer. Not Blink. Charge. It's going to be Charge Lot Archon here from herO. Oh boy. And how hard is he going to commit? Because this can hit like a truck. This can, yeah, this can really pop off here, depending on how many gateways we have. We're going double Robo. Wait. Okay. Interesting. So there are layers. There are layers to this build from herO. So he's going for +1 charge. Prism is on the way. He will be hitting with charge lots. He is going to be hitting first with charge lots. He's not going all in, though. He's taking a fourth. He should be taking a fourth base, and he's going into double Robo Colossus production behind it. Adepts are harassing. They get a couple of drones. Spire is on the way. Spire gets scattered, I believe. Yeah, herO, he does get eyes on the Spire, getting 5 more drones. The Oracles are still popping off, by the way. They still get damage done. There it is. We cancel the Robo. Wise move there from herO. Basically, he saw the Spire. He saw the Spire. He knows about the mutas. Double Robo Colossus is not going to work. It's disastrous against mutas. So instead, what do we see? A gateway explosion. He throws down a massive amount of gateways. He's going for Archons. He's going for Charge Archon instead. He's going to be in the face of Solar. He's going to be looking to try and break Solar before he can get into those mutas. Or as he's getting into the mutas. Phoenix production has commenced. Phoenixes are on the way. The first Colossus as well, which will help against the Lings. Charge lots have arrived. And again, we're just harassing. Not really committing. We're just keeping Solar busy. While we're building up our death bull of an army. Not looking much like a death ball yet, but give us like a couple of warp ins and we'll be there. Yeah, additional pylons on the way. No fourth. It's a 3-base all-in. It's straight up 3-base all-in. If we were going for the second robo, I think we would have taken the 4th base, but now herO, he feels a sense of urgency. Now, because of the mutas, we have to go. We're on a timer. We have 6 mutas on the way. We're pushing out with 1 Colossus, 2 Archons, a handful of Zealots, but we can reinforce with how many gateways? 10 gateways, 10 Zealots at a time. Let's go. Zealots are on the way. Now, the Lings have been scouted with the Revelation. Looks like herO wants to try to keep up with this. Still building on more Phoenixes. Ooh, mutas, they do go straight for the natural. But we have been building on Phoenixes, and we will focus on these mutas. Yeah, Shield Battery retains the Phoenixes, and we shut them down completely. The mutas, they do nothing. And now we can focus on the all-in. It's all or nothing for herO. 3 bases, no 4th, no other form of tech. +2 is about to kick in. Ling run by coming in, but I don't think we care. Not anymore. It's all or nothing for herO. Solar is maxed out with Roach Ravager, but he invested so much into those mutas, and that means that there's no +2. +2, no +2, no Banelings, no Bailing speed. Again, the mutas were expensive, and that's gas that could have been spent elsewhere. And without Banelings, how do you deal with all these Zealots? Ooh, Biles, they take down a Void Ray. The Zealots are going down towards the left. Meanwhile, the Stalkers, they hold their ground here. Ravagers are getting lifted. Solar trying to dive on top of the army. Trying to come in for a surround, but the juggling is too good. Nova goes off, connecting here with the Ravagers. And herO, he's breaking through. He cleans up the army on the left, and he breaks through on the right. herO, he tries to collapse on the army, but his own army gets collapsed instead. And herO, he's snowballing out of control. The Colossus, they stand strong. We're breaking through. Roaches are coming into reinforcement. There's no more Ravagers, there's no more Queens, no more Transfuse. GG gets called, and herO will break Solar and take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Again, so important that herO scouted. He saw the Spire, immediately cancels the robo, he switches gears, changes his game plan on the fly, able to mass his Phoenixes, doubles down on the Archon push instead, able to go for the kill, go for the 3-base all-in before Solar could really make use of those mutas. And again, as we mentioned, even though Solar was maxed out, that is true, he was at 200 supply, but because he had spent so much gas, I think it was like 600, 700 gas on those mutas, plus whatever the Spy was worth as well, on top of the mutas that he spent. That's gas that could have been spent on better upgrades. He only had +1 range, so could have been spent on better upgrades, could have been spent on a better army. What's better than Roach Ravager? Ling Bane Roach Ravager. Specifically, those Banelings would have helped so much against the first wave of Zealots, and the Lings would have helped so much against the rest of the army as well. Like, we just had a subpar army to work with. Solar caught out, and with that, GG. GG, well played. herO advances on to the grand finals, which means we have a rematch. We have a rematch here. In last week's edition of ESL Open Cup Americas, it was a best-of-5 grand finals between herO and MaxPax, and history repeats itself, because that's exactly what we have once again.